Hi, Kit. Let's take a look at this new set of essays from you. You're working very hard, so it's nice to see that. Let's see what you said here. Okay. Democracy. Let's see. Experts throughout both the developing and developed world have agreed that democracy is under threat. Some believe that the main reason for this threat is the global capital markets. However, I personally disagree. This essay will argue that there are more reasons, other than the capital markets, why policymakers lost control of their government using examples from the UK government and Oxford University to demonstrate points and prove arguments. Okay, fine. On the one hand, there is ample evidence that suggests, with an S, how global markets threaten democracy. You just said that there are more reasons. Okay, so not that you say global markets are not, but there are other ones, right? Okay, I'm just trying to see if this paragraph makes sense here, but let's see what you wrote. The central reason behind this is twofold. Firstly, global markets can affect how government officials make, no S, decisions, S. For example, recent empirical research by the UK government demonstrated that 53% of officials tend to make decisions, S, based on how the stock exchange will react and not based on how the policy will affect the greater good. Secondly, politicians like presidents and prime ministers, no comma, not reflect, that doesn't make sense. How about base their performance by how the stock market is doing? By this reason alone, it is conclusively clear that the global capital markets will be thought of as the main reason why democracy is failing. Okay, let me think about this for 1 second. Okay, so here's what I've been thinking about. This paragraph would be fine if your introduction were a little different. Let me show you exactly what I mean. Experts throughout both the developing and developed world have agreed that democracy is under threat. However, some people believe that the main reason for this threat is the global capital markets. Full stop. While this is partially true, this essay will argue that there are more reasons other than the capital markets why policy makers have lost control, etc., etc., etc. So do you see what I did? Doing that, I'm saying that, yeah, I agree, global capital markets, but not only. So when you say that in your introduction, this paragraph makes sense. If you don't do that and you say only that you disagree, which is what you did here, personally I disagree, then this paragraph doesn't make sense. Does that make sense? I hope it does. You can't say that you disagree with something and then all of a sudden you're like, oh yeah, there is ample evidence. Okay, well, make it clear in your introduction that, yeah, the global capital markets are a problem or, they affect it. But there are other things that are even bigger influences. Okay? That's what you needed to do here for your paragraphs to make sense. All right, I want to move on now because I don't know if I'm making sense anymore. On the other hand, although there is a case for capital markets greatly affecting, get rid of the two, greatly affecting the decision making of officials and even prioritizing only how the stock market will react, there are other reasons why democracy is under threat. This is largely because of terrorism and xenophobia. For example, an extensive study by Oxford University showed that over 68% of citizens believes democracy as a form of government cannot save them from terrorism. Okay, consistent with this line of thinking is that 58% of denizens, I'm not really crazy about that word, it doesn't really feel very appropriate in this essay, think, no S, that democracy promotes uncontrolled immigration, whether it is accepting refugees or skilled professionals, which in turn leads to xenophobia. I can't even speak. Because of this fear, they only see democracy as an invitation for others to cross borders, S, and let the concerns of immigrants take over the rights of all of its citizens. Use the word citizens, please. Thus, it is possible to say beyond doubt that the collapse of democracy is not only limited to global markets, but also citizens' fear of terrorism and prejudice against other people. Okay, so I just read your paragraph like another couple of times because I wanted to make sure I understood it. And I think I understand what you're trying to say, although there's some sort of something happening here. Maybe I've misunderstood it. But remember, capitalism, did I say capitalism? I meant democracy under threat. And what you're saying here is that the threat to democracy is actually the fear of the citizens because they're afraid, they're worried about terrorism and immigration. So, in other words, it's the citizens themselves who may be a threat to democracy. So that was a little kind of hard for me to wrap my head around. I think this is what you're trying to say, although I'm not entirely sure. So, yeah, I think that's what you're trying to say. Correct me if I'm wrong. But all right, let's move on. From the arguments and examples given, I firmly believe that there are more reasons where democracy is under threat. It is predicted that the collapse of democracy is inevitable if these concerns are not addressed. All right, that makes sense. Fine. I think I understood what you were trying to say. I think we've got it. So let's move on. It was well developed. It's long, right? Let me see. Let's see. Yep, 381 words. So that's fine. I think I was pretty clear about what some of the strengths and the weaknesses of the essay were. It was definitely developed, that's for sure. So let's move on. Okay, you lost your luggage. Let's see what you said. To whom it may concern, I'm writing this letter regarding the loss of my luggage on flight this from Singapore to Perth via Kuala Lumpur, which arrived this. Okay. My luggage, which was supposed to be checked all the way through to my final destination, baggage tag number this, was apparently misplaced and possibly offloaded in Kuala Lumpur. I lodged a written complaint at the luggage claim office in Perth, and the ground staff informed me that they would be in touch within 24 hours to notify me about the status of my suitcase. Great. It has been 4 days since my arrival, and until now I have no update as to the whereabouts of my luggage. Inside my luggage were my laptop, a few important documents, some clothes, and my medicines. My medicines are prescription drugs, and without a doctor's prescription, I cannot buy any of my medicine from a pharmacy. Okay, I would have preferred not so much medicine. Look, you've got medicine, medicine, medicine. Okay? As a result, I am still experiencing health complications. I am expecting compensation, and the least you can do is refund my flight ticket and an upgrade to business class for my future travel. If you would like, remember it's formal. If you would like to further discuss this, you can contact me on my mobile. I await your prompt response. Yours faithfully. Let's see. Information, evidence, how you expect. Okay. How you expect to become CEO. You said that. All right. It's fine. It's very good. You covered everything. Evidence of your claim. Let me see. Where did you do that? Okay. Evidence of your let me see. Baggage 10. You know what I think you needed? I think you needed this. Number 2, evidence of your claim. You lodged a written complaint, but shouldn't you have some sort of a reference number or something? That I think was needed here. I know it probably seems like a major detail, but still, I do think it was something you probably should have said here because you don't have evidence of your claim. All you did was just tell us that you lodged a complaint. Okay, let's see. That was missing. So go ahead now and correct these. Let's see more essays from you. We'll be here. So go ahead and correct these. On the whole, I have to say I really like this. I thought the language was very good. So good job, and I'll wait for your next set of essays.